Welcome to beautiful Queenstown on this Waitangi weekend. Well, we've got 180 competitors and 300 of our woolly friends. What are they here for? Well, it's the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. Taumec country for the running of the wolves, a unique opening to the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. Thousands of people line Queenstown's Beach Street as 300 merino withers and ewes and 50 horned rams strutted their stuff for the spectators. It evoked memories of the town's past when sheep were regularly transported through Queenstown on their way to Dunedin. And it wasn't just merinos hitting town. Over 180 athletes jetted into Central Otago to compete in the first ever Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. Competitors from around New Zealand and across the Tasman contesting a series of sports that built the nation. Queenstown Recreation Ground hosted over 7,000 spectators to witness unique rural sports such as speed fencing, sheepdog trials, speed shearing, tree climbing and wood chopping. And early on day one, it was the New Zealand Coal Shovelling Championship up for grabs. Well, it's a pretty simple process at the coal shovelling. All we've got to do, we've got to take 500 kgs of that and we've got to put it in here. I've got Justin Marshall here to give us a hand. We're feeling strong. It's a beautiful day in Queenstown. Let's give it a crack, see how we go. Let's get ourselves set. Marshy, you ready?
I'm ready to roll, brother.
Righto, let's get the countdown.
Yeah. Ready, set, go! Oh.
Mate, that's hard work. Let's see how the pros do it. I'm out, I'm gone.
This is Stuart Turner, the Australian champ, who's come all the way from Australia to be here at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games, day one here in Queenstown. Half a tonne of coal to move into the hopper with his banjo shovel. You can see a fair bit of tape on the old shovel. We lost one earlier this morning. He's away. Stuart Turner, the Aussie, is off. Fast twitch fibre working, a lot of pressure on the shoulders, the lower back, up the stack he goes. Getting closer to the hopper, the closer the better, I guess. Not so far to shovel it, not as much effort required. Getting the encouragement from Brian Coughlin, the Kiwi, giving the Aussie some encouragement. He's pulling half a tonne of coal as quickly as he can. This is a single coal shoveling event. It's not that far away. To the top of the stack he goes, more powerful digs. As much coal on the shovel as he can get. Into the hopper, it's done. Coughlin calls it, the Aussie finishes. Well done. Cole Green from Runanga on the coast. Here's his solo attempt at half a tonne of coal into the hopper, and he's away to a flying start. You see a lot of the coal, he needs to slow it down a little bit. He's putting in too much effort. Maybe the old adrenaline's kicking in. A fair bit of coal in the early shovels going out of the old hopper. He doesn't want that. He wants to get as much in as he can. You see him standing pretty upright, trying to protect the back. Not too much swinging of the torso, but it's all shoulders and arms and forearms and legs and thighs and calves as he gets towards filling up this half tonne of coal. It's not that far away. The final few digs, he's getting encouragement from his brother. The coaster going hard. Brian Coughlin steps in, starting to slow just a little bit. He's not that far away, just a few more. He's shagged. He's down the stack, but he gets there. There you go, folks. How tough is this sport? He's off. He's a solid lad. He's into his work early. Oh, he's down. Whoa, we've stopped the clock. He might have hit the hopper, I think. Or whether he's pulled something, not too sure. But anyway, he's looking a bit ginger. Not that happy. That wasn't a good one for the big boy from the coast. We've got Brian Coughlin on the stack. Now, this guy's the world champion, holds the world record with Pete Groot from the coast in the doubles competition. Something like 14.8 seconds to shovel half a tonne of coal with Pete. He's on the coal stack, he's going to do it by himself. Here he goes, look at him. This is the man who knows how it's done. Short and sharp, he's a little squat man, he's a 5x5, he's a little brick outhouse when you look at him. He's from the coast, so he's tough. You don't have to question his toughness. It's there, you can see it. He's head down, he's starting to puff a little bit. He's got the left-handed stance, he's getting towards the top of the stack, getting encouragement from the Aussie and from young Cole Green from the coast, who's here supporting him today. This is Brian Coughlin, the world champion, on the coal stack. Can you see him, Queenstown? Getting towards the end of his work. The last 6 or 7 shovelfuls to go in. 1, 2, 3, 4, done! Brian Coughlin, New Zealand world champion on the coal stack here in Queenstown today.
So the Aussie champ Stuart Turner shows up the boys from the coast with a rapid time of 32.4 seconds. Brian Coughlin taking out second as the best of a trio of shovellers from the west coast at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games.
Stuart, you come from Australia, you haven't shovelled coal for 2 years, and you come over here and you win the title. 32 seconds. You must be thrilled with that.
Oh, look, I'm absolutely thrilled. Just to be in Queenstown and compete was awesome, but to actually win it, great.
When you're going through, you had some concerns before about the size of the coal. As you were going through, though, did you get the feeling you were shifting it?
Yeah, look, I did. It's definitely difficult in this coal. It's almost like golf balls, where when I do it in Australia, it's almost like little beans. It shovels easier, you can stand in it easier. You've got to hold your balance in this. It's a lot harder.
Mate, well, you were far too good for us today. Well done. Yep, I had a crack. Not too good at it. Well, let's see what else we've got coming up.
Across the other side of the Queenstown Recreation Ground was one of New Zealand's much-loved rural sports, sheepdog trials. The Naitahu Trophy was up for grabs as 4 of the North Island's best took on 4 of the South Island's best. 8 shepherds, 16 dogs and, of course, 6 uncooperative sheep. Third away in this inter-island challenge was the North Island's Murray Child, a former Northern District's fast bowler.
On the way to the bridge. And on the left is Dice, and on the right is Ace, both of which have won New Zealand titles. Nicely completed. It's time for division. 2 dogs, 1 man into 6 sheep, and the result, 2 lots of 3. This is nice work. Quiet. One needs to be turned from the other. It's a shed so far, but the thing as we've seen in this narrow area is to keep them apart. Doing a little bit of covering work is Murray and both dogs. Sooner or later, one of them has to go with the other trio and look after them. Well done. They're on the way to yard number 1.
And Murray Child setting the standard with a great score of 96 points to add to the North Island's total.
Marching in nicely. This will be a nice run and a calm end to it for Murray Child, Ace and Dice.
Over to Ian Herbert and his dogs, Storm and Pat, to keep the South Island in touch.
Straight down to Ian Herbert from Tapareira in Nelson. Represented New Zealand several times, won New Zealand and Island titles. Both these dogs have won them. They're a top team. Unfortunately, one sheep is sort of blocking the bridge, but no, another one edged round behind her and over they go.
Sit, put. Sit, put.
While the other trio walk calmly up towards the 2 Kens. We're keeping an eye on them at the top end. As the gates open, ready for the first yard with Pat. Only a rump to go. That's half a back line, and a hock, 2 hocks, and a nose. If you just move to the left a little. This is when the competitor would like to just reach over with his crook and tap that sheep, but he can't. But it's tempting. There it is, a yard. Yard number 1 with Pat and Ian Herbert from Nelson. And this will, I'm sure, be the best run that the South Island have put up.
Ian, Storm and Pat going on to score 96 points, matching the top mark of Murray Child. Next up is Bob Bruce and his dogs Trump and Skip to hammer home the North Island's big advantage in the Ngāi Tahu Trophy here at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games.
The New Zealand title holder, as we approach the first obstacle, first time that the dogs and the sheep can get close to one another and they can get used to the idea that the dog is boss. Nicely done. Seven-year-old Skip is the shedding dog, but Bob is in charge, and there's a chance for a shed just here. But the heads of 3 of the sheep need to be facing in the opposite direction of the other 3, and that's exactly what's happened. Walks through the middle very calmly. Top shepherd from Te Ate and Hawke's Bay.
Some tidy work by Bruce, yarding the 2 pairs from grab 94 points and take the North Island to an unassailable total.
A little bit of hoop stamping, trying to make out to the dog that they're the boss, but they're not. And in they go. Another completed run for the North Island. Bob Bruce, Trump and Skip. Nice last pen and a good run with minutes, many minutes left to spare, and a well-deserved pat for each dog.
So, a comprehensive victory to the North Island in the Ngāi Tahu Trophy. The Shepherds from the North amassing 370 points. The South Island, 80 points adrift at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games.
Congratulations, Bob. Well done. That's a pretty comprehensive win.
Yeah, well, we've got a very good team, and we did a lot of work before we got here. We took it seriously. We tried hard.
Well, I tell you what, before the last run, though, I was standing out there with you guys. You were pretty confident. I mean, it's been a nice way to start the season for you, though.
Yeah, it has, yep. Yeah, our dogs are going well, and it was a very, very good team. We had a good team, no weak links.
Are you going to have a bit of fun with this? Surely you're going to have a bit of fun with this. The North Island coming down into the South Island, coming down to Queenstown and getting a win like this?
Oh, we love it. We love beating the South Islanders. But we're all good mates.
You're all good mates when it comes down to it. You'll sit down and have a beer afterwards?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Well, congratulations. Well done.
Yep, thank you. Good. Thanks, Jeff.
The Hilux New Zealand Rural Games saw the heavy hitters of wood chopping entertain the crowds at the Queenstown Recreation Ground. The Anzac Challenge featured New Zealand's top 4 axemen plus their Trans-Tasman rivals. And it was the Aussie, Jamie Head, in the hottest of form.
2, 1, go! Out of the blocks they go, wailing right into it, 4 hits to open it up, making a nice clean job of it. Any second they'll go around to the back. Off he goes, Adam Lowe leads the front. Jamie right behind him. Little fumble by Adam, he knows he's got to pull it out to make it happen. There it goes. The accomplished work of Jamie Head, keeping the big fella honest. That one goes to the Aussies.
So it was the Queenslander Jamie Head that claimed individual honours at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. Kiwi captain Shane Jordan was close behind in second, with the great Jason Wynyard taking out third spot. So to the glamour event the big crowd had come to see. 4 of New Zealand's best axemen against 4 of Australia's finest. It's the Anzacs Team Relay.
3, 2, 1, go! It's going to be a quick race, everybody. If you're a foreigner, get in behind these Aussies. If you're a Kiwi, unlight yourselves and let's get behind them. Neck and neck, they're into it now. Oh, they're both off together. It's the single saw now. Jason Wynyard making quick work of it. Jamie Head not too far behind. Kyle's into it. Lawrence, a great underhand cutter. He knows what's required of him right now to bring them back in the race. Kyle Lemon loving it. Stretching it out to a reasonable lead here for the Kiwis. Off they go. Big Adam. Thumping away. And he's around in 6 hits. What's he going to do on the back? Getting ready to drive any second. The Kiwis will be off. It's shaken. It's done. The Kiwis take out the Anzac team's relay.
Well, Jason, we weren't able to take the individual title, but we won the trophy for the relay. It was satisfying for you?
Oh, a little bit disappointing with the individual stuff, but hey, sometimes that's how it works out. We've got a great bunch of competitors here, and it's always good to go up against them.
Talk to me about the axe you've got here, you've got in front of us, because I mean, it looks brutal. And to me, you were going to take a bit of hair off him, but it needs a bit of sharpening. It takes a bit of work to keep on song.
Oh, most times they'll shave, like you'll be able to shave with them, but just this poplar is really abrasive and it takes the edge off after each time you use it. So normally we're touching them up, but today I was using different axes in different disciplines. So, but they hold the edge real well. They're made in Masterton. Yep. They're called Tuatahi Racing Axes. The company there has been making them for over 30 years, and they make the best ones in the world. So we're really lucky.
How much is technique versus power?
Oh, it's a pretty 50-50 balance, I reckon. You can't have just one or the other. The ultimate is good, like great technique with awesome power, and some of these guys, you know, they show that, and but it's always a balancing act. You're trying to get good technique and still develop the maximum amount of power, so it's a real balancing act with it, eh?
Well done, a great competition. They may have the best individual, but it doesn't matter. We've got the best team. That's the most important thing. Well, there's plenty of things to do at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games, and we're at the Wild Buck 10, and it's time for the Wild Buck Challenge. I've got Justin Marshall with me. He's got the 2 big bots in hand. There's plenty of people out here to see what he's capable of. Unfortunately, I've got to crack after him. You set the standard. I'll see if I can meet you. Pretty simple game. 2 bottles out, 1 bottle back. That's the Wild Buck Challenge. Very slow and deliberate. Very slow and deliberate. Oh, hamstrings are starting to tighten. Oh! Conservative. It is conservative. That means I've got to go for 1.61. Let's see what I've got. Never again, we are done, all over. Come on, have a go. Put me up there, number 1, for about 2 minutes. Damn, that hurt. Height's an issue, height's an issue. Look at this is the athlete. Oh. Yeah, don't bite off more than you can chew. Yeah. Foot fault, foot fault. Some of the biggest crowds of the weekend gathered to see the biggest boys on show at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. The Highland Games field attracted 3 heavies from Australia and 3 heavies from New Zealand. The kilted warriors battling it out in 4 brutal disciplines. The key to the caber toss, flipping a rather large log perfectly end over end.
Come on, Jono. Big effort. There he goes. He's just knocked the judge over.
New Zealand champ Jono McFarlane's effort matched by Aussie Luke Reynolds.
Here he comes, Luke Reynolds. Run in a straight line, Luke. Another perfect 12 o'clock toss. There you go, 2 in a row.
The champion Australian heavy recording 2 perfect 12 o'clock scores from his 3 attempts to win the caber toss. The stone put is much like the shot put, but with a heavier and more awkward shaped stone. 6'10" Aucklander Ruben de Jong making a big impression with his first attempt. In the second round, it was fan favourite Johnny McFarlane again getting the crowd roaring.
Come on, Jono. Hey!
5.31 metres, giving McFarlane third in the stone put behind de Jong. But it was the big man from the Blue Mountains of Australia that won his second straight discipline. Next was the farmer's walk. 2 65 kg trunks lugged around the course with the fastest time taking top honour.
Off he goes. Here he goes. Look at the pace of this one. Look, he's flying down the first. Coming up to the first marker. Good rounding of the first one. Here he goes. Halfway to the second one now. Around that one. I think this is going to be a very, very good team. The Kiwi, here he comes. 10 metres to go. Here he goes across.
The Highland Games champion will be decided on the last discipline, the Hororata Stones, the most gruelling event of the 4. Each stone getting progressively heavier for each of the 5 barrels, from 100 kg to 150 kg.
15 seconds. Can he do under 20? Up onto the big one. 145 kilos.
Australian Luke Reynolds was sitting in first place heading into this final discipline.
Here he goes. 3 seconds. 7 seconds. Come on, Luke. You're going to have to pick it up. 11 seconds. 16 seconds. Here he comes on the last one. Luke's time, 22.04 seconds. Well, that certainly opened the way up for the Kiwis.
Over to Kiwi heavy Ruben de Jong to better that time and take the title.
Here he goes, look at him go! 3 seconds for the first. 6 seconds for the second. 10 seconds for the third. 14 seconds for the fourth. Here he goes.
Ruben de Jong winning the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games Highland Games. Yes, it's the West Auckland stuntman Ruben de Jong who takes out the heavies competition, a single point ahead of Australian Highland champ Luke Reynolds, with the man they call Wookie, Johnny McFarlane, third in the first ever New Zealand Rural Highland Games Championship. Well, Ruben, you're the winner today. I'd shake your hand, but I don't know what you've got on there. Can you run us through what that actually is?
This is a product called Tacky. Basically, just with the stones, they do get wet, they do get slippery. It doesn't make the stones any lighter. It just helps with the grip, you know.
Tell me, that last event, you obviously knew you had to do something special, but you got to get in the zone, right?
Yeah, I always get in the zone. I take it there, you know, like I need to, you know, just that extra 10%. It's not in the gym, it's not done in training, it's that X factor that you need to bring with you, you know.
It's always nice to beat the Aussies, eh?
Yeah, it was. It was a close competition. On paper, the Aussies are probably of a higher standard. No disrespect to the Kiwis, but on the day we managed to pull it out, so it was a good win.
What about now? How are you going to celebrate this?
First of all, I'm going to clean this stuff off my hand, and then I'm going to find something to eat, and then I think we might go and find something to drink somewhere, I think.
Nice cold beer. Well done. Congratulations, Ruben. That's fantastic. Great. Winner of the Highland Games here at the Rural Games.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
At the end of day one, the crowds were treated to a concert featuring the fearless frontman James Reid and a rising local country star Jodie Doreen. A mix of rock and country music, a fitting way to close out the first day of the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. In the far corner of the Queenstown Recreation Ground is a walnut tree that is a theme for the most intriguing event of the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. The New Zealand Tree Climbing Trans-Tasman Challenge saw the 3 best New Zealanders take on their Australian counterparts. In the work climb, athletes start at the top of the tree, completing 5 tasks in a race against the clock with points for accuracy. Australia's Yuri McGarity flying from the handsaw challenge to the limb toss.
Looking for his next discipline. One limb to the next.
Go for it, Yuri.
Making it look effortless. There he goes, straight across. He knows he's got a pretty slick time to beat, but he also knows there's a lot of points at stake as well. Every time they call a clear, they're just offering a warning. There's demerits if it's not done. Now for the limb toss, in it goes.
The Australian nailing his landing for extra points. 59.47 is total in just over 4 minutes. Next away in the work climb is New Zealand national tree climbing finalist Andy Neverman, flying his way to the pole pruner checkpoint where he needs to securely fasten himself to the tree before ringing the bell to complete the task.
Please help bring your barrel to a stop at the end of the race. The judge's decision is final, even if it's right or wrong. And our judges, Jeremy...
Over to the limb walk, which Angie needs to complete without the attached plumb bob touching the ground. Neverman lands perfectly for 60.49 points in 4 minutes and 8 seconds.
Going like a soldier.
James Gigliotti, fresh off his Australian Championship victory last week, knew the number to beat, delicately negotiating the limb walk.
It's forward all the way. Safety first out in the bush, gaining as many points as he can, making sure that plumb bob doesn't land on the ground. Ooh! Keeping the limb as high as he can. He's got to get himself back there as quick as he possibly can.
A slightly slower time of 4 minutes 25 means James Gigliotti settled for second behind Andy Neverman in the work climb section.
It'll be a tough one. It'll go down to Judge Judy and his band of sheriffs.
The overall tree climbing title still up for grabs as the climbers look for speed in the footlock discipline, where Andy Neverman was looking to extend his lead.
You Kiwis, let's get him behind the lean, mean racing machine of Andy Neverman. Up he goes, flying right into it. All you guys in the cheap seats in the front row want to be egging this boy on. We've got the Aussies to beat here today. Flying right at it, the old boy. Big long range in arms, done just like that, gives it the Usain Bolt. Booyah! In New Zealand.
That time of 17 seconds blitzed by fellow Kiwi Yuri Voda.
And he's off, straight off the ground, the big unit, the mega unit, the monster truck flying right at it. Muscles bulging off his earlobes, ripping from his eyebrows. The big boy wants it bad and the job is done. Thanks for coming. Quick climb.
But it wasn't enough to unseat Andy Neverman, who was the overall winner at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games Tree Climbing Championship. The Aussies filled out the next 3 places to clinch the Trans-Tasman title. Here we are with Andy Neverman. He is the tree climbing champion of the New Zealand Rural Games. You must be thrilled, stoked. I want to ask you first and foremost about this tree, because it looks a pretty good one for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's a nice tree, nice and open, and lots of, as you saw, lots of swinging around and good climbing.
Is this something that's done all around the world?
Yeah, worldwide in all the countries. There is a worldwide competition, and New Zealand does very well at that. The climbers, male and female, do very well.
I suppose it makes sense that you're an arborist by trade. It's going to come in handy, a new chainsaw?
Yeah, exactly. New chainsaw, just what I need, just to prune some nice trees, not for cutting them down.
Mate, congratulations, well done. I'll tell you what, certainly not for the faint-hearted though. When you get up there, these guys are going up high and they're doing it quick.
It's not all about the adults at the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games. Plenty of things for the kids to do. We've had gumboot throwing already. We've got face painting over there. We've got sack races going on. And of course, there's always a bouncy castle.
The most popular activity in the Jetstar Kids and Country Arena was cowpat throwing, with the Bill Tapley Memorial Trophy up for grabs to the youngster with the best arm.
Everyone here is proud of you. A round of applause for young Adam. Well done.
It wasn't the only national title on offer to all comers.
Well, the great thing about the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games is you get to have a crack at a lot of the events. I'm going to have a go here at speed milking. I don't know if this is going to be a strength of mine. We're going to give it a crack anyway.
You ready? Go. Start milking. You have one minute. Get as much milk into the bucket as you can.
Oh, that's hard work, man.
It is hard work, isn't it?
Oh, now I've got no thumbs.
New national champions were found in a variety of rural endeavours like speed milking, gold panning.
This is the New Zealand Speed Gold Panning Championships. Have you ever seen anything like it?
And the hotly contested New Zealand wine barrel race where Mark Ellis and I went roll for roll.
On the count, ready? And go! There you go. All right, Mark Ellis, long lane one.
Oh, Ellis! What the?
Hey! I'm happy to be third as long as Mark is fourth. He could never go straight, never. Steve, talk us through how you're feeling about how things have gone so far.
Yeah, pretty good. We've had some pretty serious sports take place with the sheepdog trials yesterday that went fantastic in this beautiful ground we are here in Queenstown. The sheep shearing this afternoon is going to be an absolute highlight. We've got the 10 top shearers in the country that are getting ready to go off for the first time for the New Zealand Speed Shear Championship. We had a wonderful wood chopping event here at 1 o'clock yesterday, and it was just outstanding. You know, we had the top 4 axemen in the country competing with each other, and the Anzacs Trophy stayed in New Zealand, which was really good.
I'd imagine in the cherry stone spitting, you need a lot of wind.
Yeah.
I've got no doubt. That's right up your alley. That's right up your alley. All right, let's get ourselves prepared. I've got my cherry. Well, you got your cherry ready to go?
I've got the stone here, mate.
Oh, you got the stone, right? Yeah. You're all ready. I'll just get rid of mine.
You better get that cherry in your mouth and get it dealt
right, okay.
We'll go back to the tree line as well. Get ready for the next fella.
6.2. 7.1.
Well, here we are, Australian champion, Clint Thompson. Now, Clint, tell me, that was about 8.8. Is that just average for you? What do you got? What are you capable of?
I've done 11.1 when I got to get over here. So
to get over here, you went through qualifying to make it here?
No, I won in Australia. So we have a cherry festival in Manjimup, West Australia. And every year we get the same thing, and the winner from here also goes there, and I come here for this one. So it's all expenses paid for holiday, which is a good part, and then I go do some cherry spitting as well while I'm at it.
All right, run me through your technique. What are you trying to do?
Mouth as dry as I can get it. That's about it, and I don't know if after that, that's about all I can work out.
Then the big deep breath. I mean, in terms of your run up, you set yourself nice and stable. Do a lot of people run up? What do you do?
A lot of people run up and people spin their heads around and they seem to miss the mat, so I keep nice and square and stay straight.
Well, mate, I'm looking forward to seeing what more you can do.
I'll see how I go,
Participants enter at their own risk and must be over the age of 18. Now in lane 1.
8.8.
Big noise drew big crowds for the Fast and Furious New Zealand Speed Fencing Championship.
Go. All right, so Mike Billinghurst, Nick Lefting, Matt James, Shane Bowskill and Tony White. Before they start their engines, let's have a roar of applause. Come on now. It's Matt James, the first to put the strainer in the ground. Mike Billinghurst, Nick Lefting, Shane Bowskill all have their strainers in the ground, and we're waiting for Tony White to come out of the dirt. Mike Billinghurst, he's got a bit of an F word coming out of his mouth. He's not put it down deep enough, the borer. Shane Bowskill trying to get everything squared up. And now the block has to be square with the strainer down the other end there for later on when we run the wires. Here comes Matt James with his block cut. Now he lines himself up and gets onto the 90-degree angle that he needs to put that block in. All right, now Nick, watch out behind him. He's a bit of a loose unit with that big rammer. He could take your nose out. He said to me, I'm going to get it square this time, I promise. All right, here we go. Shane Bowskill, the Hawke's Bay Ratahi kid. We got the chiseling going on, the chamfering. Look at that. Here we go. Sorry to butt in, but Nick Lefton butt in on me. He's the first to finish. The man with the bionic knees, Nick Lefting's put the pressure on the rest of them. All right, so here we go. Just a few of them are going to try and make a tidy job. And there you go, Matt James. Tony White calls it to the finish. Give him a round of applause. There's the top 5 fences finished.
The final was a test of endurance, agility and perhaps most importantly accuracy, where Matt Jones came out on top with 73.5 points. Second place in the New Zealand Speed Fencing Champs went to Tony White and Nick Lefting in third.
Matt, that looked pretty tough.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the easiest competition that we've done. I mean, obviously it's a speed competition, so we're going as fast as we can. But it was good fun.
Well, now you've had the big win. You've got the trophy, yeah. You've won all the money, though, so it's your turn to shout a few wild bucks now.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, mate, you've earned it. Well done. Congratulations. What a great competition. They worked hard. Speed fencing. Looking forward to it again.
A farming festival couldn't be completed without sending a scalar up soaring, and the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games invited all comers to contest the New Zealand Gumboot Throwing Championship, with competitors coming from the South Island and the North Island qualifiers.
Now that's a throw.
Taking top honours in the women's division was Myreed Fox, her gummy going 28.04 metres.
She's a long way out. Let's get that measured. Give her a round of applause.
In the men's championship, it was decathlete Brett Newdick, more accustomed to chucking a javelin, who launched his welly a whopping 45.03 metres.
46.6 is the New Zealand record. We're pushing it. We are pushing it.
Mate, you thrilled?
Yeah, wasn't really expecting that, but had a little practice yesterday, had one throw and with the South Island champs, and I thought, oh, we'll give it a crack, and they put us in the North Island team.
So you had one practice throw. Let me get this right. One practice throw, and you end up about, what, a metre short of the New Zealand record. I mean, you've got to have another crack at some point, surely.
Yeah, well, they're just saying that the Tai Happy national champs in March sometime, so I think I'll make the journey down there and see how we go. But no, it was enjoyable, it's a bit of fun. And
you don't think you had a slight advantage being a world-class decathlete?
Oh, maybe, I enjoy the discus and I sort of adopted that technique, so I think that might have helped. But hey, it's first time touching the gumboot, I don't know if the left foot or the right foot was the right option, but...
Thanks so much for coming down. There it is. He's the best gumboot thrower in New Zealand.
In the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games' most star-studded event, large crowds came to see the top 10 ranked shearers in the country. All up, there were 3 world champions, 6 master shearers, and the 9-hour world record holder. And looking for his 634th shearing title was the most decorated shearer of them all, David Fagan, who took on fellow master shearer Darren Ford of Tuatapere in the early rounds.
They got the sheep settled and the handpiece up. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go. Fagan on 1, Ford on 2. Fagan and Ford, they're 2 names we've heard around the shearing circuit for the last 30 years. These guys have made numerous finals. Round into the long blow. David Fagan 11 seconds, 12. Darren Ford chasing hard. Fagan might be a blow ahead. Down over the front shoulder returns. Ford as well, 18, 19 seconds. Right out onto the back leg, David Fagan, 22, 23. This is going to be a faster time, 24. Out it goes at 25.04.
There you go, the man set the tone. 25.04, the tone is set.
Also in the field was current world champion hailing from Hastings, Roland Smith. He shared alongside master shearer Dino Smith.
Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go. This is the last heat in round number 1, folks. Our current world champ, Roland Smith, on stand number 1. Dino Smith beats him up the neck. Oh, roll, he's lost it. Just lost a second on getting it through and up that neck. Round into the first front shoulder they go together, but Dino Smith, he's a speed share specialist, this man. From Gisborne, turns for home. 18, 19 seconds on the clock. Come on, Dino, bring it down that last side. Into the flank, right out onto the hind leg. 23, 24, Dino Smith. There it is, 26.42 for Dino Smith. And out the hole it goes, Roland Smith.
Unfortunately for Roland, the young gun from Hawke's Bay was unable to finish inside the fastest 8 that made it through to the next round. The top 8 shootout featured another Fagan, Jack, who was the son of David and a master shearer in his own right. He went against the clock alongside Dion King.
Jack's ready, and Dion's ready. Timekeeper's ready. Competitors, set, go. Away we go. Ballywall comes off, turning into the first hind leg. 3 seconds gone on the clock. Both up the neck together. 6, 7 and around into the first front shoulder. They'll lay it down for the long blow in about 1 second. Here it is for Dion King. One big sweeping blow right through to the air. Turns for home. It's given a bit of a wriggle and a jump, but he's got it under control. 18 seconds for Jack Fagan as he goes over the front shoulder. But Dion King, 1, 2, 3 more blows. 24.72 seconds for Dion King. Jack Fagan finishing touches at 30. Another shot. That one just looked a wee bit tighter. So they're not shearing exactly the same each sheep. Some can be a wee bit slower just for that reason.
To the top 4, in the old hand, Darren Ford went up alongside the young sheriff from Balclutha, Joe Tamoe.
Ladies and gentlemen, all through the sheep. It's all designed to keep the sheep nice and comfortable. Okay, timekeeper's ready. Get set, go. Away we go. We won't muck around. We'll let Darren get into it. Up the undermine, Joe Tamoe, 4, 5 seconds up the neck. A couple of blows, he's 1 out on Darren, but Darren round into the first front shoulder. Long blow time for Tamoe in 10. 11 seconds gone on the clock. Turning for home in 12. They're both together, ladies and gentlemen. Under the leg goes Darren Ford. Right out onto the back leg. Joe Tamoe's there with him. 20, 21, 22. Darren Ford. Darren Ford.
In the second heat, Te Kuiti's finest David Fagan battled alongside Dion King.
Timekeeper's ready, competitors set, go. Away we go, winding into the first hind leg. Up the neck, they hop together, blow for blow, these two men. 6, 7 seconds on the clock. They've battled it out on competition boards all around the world, these two guys. Right through the UK, Australia and here in New Zealand. 15 seconds on the clock. 17 seconds on the clock. This is going to go under 25. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Hold the phone. There's a couple of shearers, ladies and gentlemen.
Strong finish.
21.54 for David Fagan. 21.82 for Dion King. Now we're getting down into it.
Those sensational times saw Fagan and King through to face each other again in the final, where they had to share 2 sheep. The fastest claiming New Zealand Speed Share Championship.
Timekeeper's ready. This is the final. Competitors set, go. Away we go. 2 sheep into the first hind leg. Dion King up the neck. David Fagan up the neck after him. King in front. 5, 7, 8. I can't keep up. 9 seconds. David Fagan winding through the long blow. 11, 12. They both turn for home together. Te Kuiti and Hastings. Where's the trophy going tonight? Right out on the left. David Fagan, ladies and gentlemen. 19 seconds. 20 seconds. Out as sheep comes. Out comes Dion Kings. The wall's still there. Into the first hind leg, they go together. Door up the neck together. 28 seconds, the wall's flying. Round into the first hind leg. 31, 32. Who's going to hit that? David Fagan down over the last front shoulder. Dion King right there. 37. David Fagan right out of the back leg. 42. And the cord stop from the Master Blaster. 42 seconds versus 44. They shake hands.
So the great David Fagan claims shearing title number 634 with a 2 sheep time of 42.46 seconds. Second is Hawke's Bay's Dion King with Darren Ford third at the first ever Hilux New Zealand Rural Games Speed Share Championship.
There's no doubt about it. One of the glamour events at this Hilux New Zealand Rural Games was always going to be the speed share, and we had the best of the best, and he came out on top, David Fagan. I mean, you're smiling there. This is your last year of competition. Satisfying way to start the season?
Yeah, absolutely, and these speed shares are something else. They're a real adrenaline rush, and it's quick-fire entertainment, and the buzz you get out of this is unbelievable.
Great to be part of such an inaugural event as well, this Rural Games.
I mean, the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games is in its infancy, and I think we've seen something here today where it'll just get stronger and stronger year on year.
It's an exciting competition, isn't it? When you're against the clock, but then also you're obviously against mate on mate. I mean, there's a bit of camaraderie between the team.
Absolutely, we're all good mates. But when you're up here, believe me, you're out to kill each other. No doubt about that.
It's hard work, isn't it? I mean, I suppose 1 and 2, this is not so bad, the technical side of it, but it's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, physically very demanding. This speed share or 1 or 2 sheep like we're doing probably suits me being a bit older, but yeah, the general day-to-day work and the shearing competitions where you're doing 20 sheep in a final in a quarter of an hour, physically incredibly demanding, yeah.
The Hilux New Zealand Rural Games finale featured a world record attempt in egg throwing and catching. Competing pairs included the Black Sox, National Athletics reps, the New Zealand Diamondbacks, in the suspect hands of yours truly and Justin Marshall. The first distance to beat, 45 metres for the New Zealand record, then on to 78 metres to become the world's best.
That's 70. You should see how far. Look at it. There it is. There it is, all the way back there. And this breeze has changed. The breeze has shifted.
Marsh and I had 50 metres in our sights to claim the New Zealand record.
Hold your breath. Did he get it? Beautiful. Oh, he tried to hide hard luck, son. Hard luck.
Over to the New Zealand softballers Stephen Ratu and Tyrone Bartorillo.
This is Tyrone.
Yeah. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen.
There's the New Zealand.
Tyrone Bartorillo and Stephen Ratu are the now New Zealand record holders.
Back to a couple of retired rugby players to push the mark out a little further.
Justin Marshall, Goldie.
Yes. Great stuff.
Well done.
We've got 2 through.
Mark Ellis, he showed off his arm.
Mark Ellis and Glenn now. And yes.
Bam. The hard behind the mark.
Baseballers Scott Campbell and Jamie Wilson had their shot at the record.
Stay with the 50s at the moment so we don't get too confused. Is that a hold?
No.
With the unconventional throwing action of Brent Newdick keeping athletics in the comp. Next attempt was beyond 60 metres.
All the way, hold on to it, Goldie. Did he get it?
He's done it.
And as the competition crumbled, the New Zealand egg throwing title was ours.
Did he catch it? He caught a whole lot, all over him.
Well, Marshy, I think we came in as underdogs, no doubt about it. We've come away as New Zealand egg throwing champions. Can you believe that?
No, I can't actually. I seriously doubted my ability to throw it that far, and secondly, whether or not we could execute. But mate, good catching. You've done the job. This is the egg too. Beautiful.
It may have been unofficial, but the Diamond Blacks wanted a shot at the world record of 78 metres.
Where is that spot? Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Could the Black Sox better it?
That's a big throw. It's about 1.5 meters back from the line.
Yes! Gee, look at that! We are talking 83 metres.
Now, Justin and I, we may have been the New Zealand record holders, but these guys just after us unofficially threw it 81 metres, which would have been a world record. Steve, in terms of catching it, talk me through your technique.
My technique was just see the ball, track it, and then all of a sudden send it come down and take my hands with the ball. That was pretty much what I come through. But as you can see, it only happened once that I caught the ball properly, I caught the egg properly, but the rest of it ended up on me.
It only takes once, though. Have you guys done any practice coming in?
No, not at all. No.
So you had no idea how far you could throw it?
I had a practice in the backyard in the park, and I was throwing it about 80, 87, 90 metres. So I knew I could break the record as just long as Stephen could catch the egg.
I think we had the harder job, really, you know. But in terms of an event, a lot of fun to be a part of.
Oh, it was great fun. I'd love to do it again. It was awesome. I want to come back.
Yes, there's certain to be more records broken and more national titles claimed as the Hilux New Zealand Rural Games returns to Queenstown in 2016.